this is such a good time to connect and create. Like
So
ideal
true.
time. So connecting and creating, what I mean by that, and this is my season right now, is I'm connecting with myself, right? Deeply with myself. I'm connecting with my loved ones around me, my daughter, my wife. I'm connecting with clients, past clients, connecting with friends like you. I'm connecting with people at such a deeper level because now I'm not distracted by all the things going on, going to this restaurant, going to there. So I'm
Yep.
connecting big time. I'm creating. I'm creating content for my business. I'm creating content for things I want once this is all over. I'm creating memories with my family. I'm creating the ultimate version of me every day.
Welcome to Business Insights with Matt Milia. I'm your host, Matt Milia, and in this podcast, we'll talk about the real, raw, uncut business success secrets you won't find anywhere else. Follow my journey from entry level to CEO. We discuss real actionable items you can plug into your business right away. To subscribe to our weekly top tips, you can go to www.mattpodcast.com and join our community of elite high-level performers. And if you're interested in our inside sales company, you can go to www.appointmentstoday.com to jump on a free strategy call. And now, stay tuned for our podcast. All right. Hey, everybody. What's going on? It is Matt Milia, and you are with us today for Business Insights, episode number 27. And I am very pumped today because I got Mr. John Marrone on. John, how's things going for you, brother?
Man, it is amazing. It's beautiful. Connecting and creating in such a strange time has really brought so much awareness and opportunity. So I'm doing great, brother. I appreciate the opportunity to be on.
That's awesome. Good. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to sharing your story. Some of the things that, of course, some of the challenges that you've had to just, overcome over time. And for people that don't know about you, share a little bit about, tell us a little bit about yourself and what is, of course, who is John Marrone?
Yeah. And so if you asked me that question, probably 10 days ago, it'd be different than it is today, right? I'm always evolving. I always say that we're not human beings or human becomings. And so I was a human being, one person, one way for a very long time. And unfortunately, that person was, it wasn't like I was a bad person. I just made bad decisions. And, I was an addict to everything from making those bad decisions to drugs, to negativity, as an addict to drama, to violence. Unfortunately, put me in bad situations, from living in my car to couch hopping to just being in this very lonely, unsure place. Growing up, man, I hung out with a lot of people, and you would think from afar, oh man, he gets along with everybody, he fits in everywhere. That wasn't the case. I was trying to fit in everywhere I could, but I knew I didn't belong anywhere at that moment, right? Because I didn't know who I was. So I'd hang out with the jocks, and I'd put on this mask, and I'd hang out with the musicians, and I put this mask on, and I was always trying to find that level of acceptance and love. And so I had to keep changing who I truly was for whatever group I was hanging out with. And I think that created this sense of loss and not knowing who I was internally. And when someone basically had said to me, man, like, you're the partier, you're the fighter, I was like, I'll wear that. Like, okay, I'll wear that mask. I know I'm good at it, not realizing that it's not going to get me anywhere in life, but like, I knew I was very good at it. And so as humans, we follow through with who we believe we are most. And I thought that's who I was, the fighter, right? The druggie, the person who sold drugs, a one-time Glory Days superstar in sports, whatever it might have been. And so going through the motions as I got through high school, I continued down those destructive paths, and it ended up put me in jail. And so when I got out of jail, I was actually living in a motel where I met my now wife. I met her on the good old platform called MySpace. And I said we bring MySpace back, by the way. And so I met her, and she kind of showed me, Matt, like, hey, it's okay to be vulnerable. Like, it's okay to really come out of your shell and be who you truly are. And she showed me real love. And so we fast forward several years go by. I'm making small strides, but man, I'm telling you, I was still destructive. right? Was I as bad? No, but I'd use that as an excuse. Maybe some of your listeners right now, kid, understand that of like, yeah, but I'm not as bad as I used to be. It's like, yeah, but you're not as good as you could be, right?
Yeah.
And so I started making these small strides. Still self-destructive, still self-sabotage, and still selfish, stubborn John Marrone, but a little bit better. And we got to the point to where I was running a sales and marketing firm over in Florida. Then I came home. The business we sold to another company. Long story short, we came back home. And I was living in apartment to apartment. We got our first house, right? Little teeny place. I mean, I would say maybe 900 square feet, but it's our first home that we lived in. And we rented at the time. And it was in October 2012 when it all changed. And Hurricane Sandy paid us a visit. And Hurricane Sandy paid New Jersey a nice visit because we lived on the barrier islands, which means we were surrounded by bodies of water. And I brought my family from their motel, and we're sitting in the house. And I remember we're playing Monopoly. And I'm playing Monopoly in the bedroom, and I have the door open to the living room. And I heard a noise. It was weird because the noise sounded like water coming into the house, which is even more strange because I was outside an hour and a half before, and there was no rain. And so when I heard the water, I looked, and there it was. Just a trickle of water starts coming through the hardwood floors. And I looked at my family, and I was kind of confused. And I got up and walked through a little bit of water, and I opened the door. There it was, 4 to 5 feet of water, just roaring rapids. I mean, it was boats flipped over, docks smashing into our houses, and it was just rising and rising. And so I did what any smart person would do. I put our furniture up, right? Like selfish John Marrone, there he shines again. Instead of saving my family and putting them in the attic, first I'm like, how do I get this brand new furniture that I just bought up? So we get it up, we get the family up into the attic, and the ladder's down because it's a one story, and the water's rising rung by rung, and then the tree is hitting the roof, and the water's rising. And I looked back at my family, and I'm soaking wet. It's New Jersey. I'm freezing. It's in October. And I said, man, what kind of impact have I made? And there it was. I've never utilized the word impact in that kind of context, right? Like, I've never said it like that. And then I just basically said to myself, hey, when I get out of this, I'm going to put a footprint into this universe. I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change others by just changing mine. I will create a legacy that when people remember the last name Marrone, it is for something powerful that can change somebody's life. And I wanted to change that legacy. Well, we got rescued. Got rescued on the front loader, and we're sitting in a shelter. That's where it all changed. It wasn't jail. Wasn't, should have overdosed. It wasn't sitting in the attic. Those are pieces. But when it all changed, I said, okay, I'm going to make a difference. I said I'm going to change. I have no idea how. There it was. Realizing I don't know what I don't know was my biggest opportunity to grow. And from there, I just stripped down the ego, and I just searched out for the best of the best, man, the movers and shakers of this world. Right? Figuring out what they're doing to become successful, to overcome adversity. And it took time. It wasn't like I said that, I realized that, and then all of a sudden my life changed. It was like battle after battle, right? That the biggest war that you're ever going to face is the one with yourself, right? On a daily basis. And so I started getting even better and better and better. And I started, Tony Robbins, Darren Hardy, Hal Elrod, all these people that I just consumed all their information and started implementing. I changed my life. And I've built this beautiful, beautiful life for myself and my family, where we live in beautiful Destin, Florida. The boat, the car, experiences. But the best thing I built was myself. And I created this new version of me that was always inside of me, but held back by limitations, by other people's stories that they put on me. And I'm fortunate enough to now keynote stages with people like Ed Milet, Tony Robbins, Trent Shelton, Robert Kiyosaki, the list goes on, and I have thousands of clients in my coaching program where I could speak from the real struggle and provide the real actionable tools for people to be better today than they were yesterday.
Man, that is amazing. So it wasn't jail. It was more of the experience of watching your entire life sort of just disappear within a flood in an instant. in an instant, it's all gone. That's amazing. I mean, with where everyone is at today, looking at your, let's say, business owner, before you and I even jumped on the recording, we were talking about pivoting. This has been, the year for me even of pivoting. Where are some areas that you think, because I mean, you've gone through quite the struggle. I would assume that if there were any expert on that topic, especially from what you've gone through, you're going to be able to speak on that. Where do you think that people can, do you think people should pivot in certain ways? And what do you feel like is some of the things that people can do if they're just kind of stuck right now because of what's going on with the epidemic and everything else?
Yeah, man, great question. And I'm a huge believer that success happens outside of a perfect plan. And everybody had this perfect plan that they're going to make X amount of money and buy this house, X amount of money and build this bit, like all this. And guess what? The plan is out the window, which is okay, because most of the time the plan is not what gets you there, right? And I want people to be, first off, committed to the journey, not the plan. Because when you create another plan, Matt, what's going to happen? Something else is going to happen. All of a sudden that plan is going to be demolished. So be committed to that journey and be committed to that destination, not the plan. Set one, 100%. Set one. And so when I hear people now, and I keep hearing people, oh man, I'm walking in fear. It's basically the words they're saying without saying it. You can't do that, because when you walk in fear and scarcity, you attract more fear and scarcity, and you have a block up for any opportunity that would ever come your way. So let's stop walking in fear and march forward in faith. And faith that you are going to get past this. Hey, you remember the time when you thought that somebody screwed you over, or the wife or the girlfriend, whatever it is, broke your heart, and you never thought you were going to get over it? And now look at you, still standing here, right? We're resilient. We are resilient, but I want you to see opportunities within this obstacle. Pivoting is normal. Pivoting is actually the thing I talk about most, because I think that too many people are waiting for the perfect time to take action or build their business or put themselves on video, whatever it is, not realizing that perfection kills progression. And you just need progression for success. Like, you have to start now, because when you start now, guess what's going to hit you? A failure, a pivot. And I need you to find these failures and these pivots faster so you can collapse the time to get to where you want to go. Stop running away from failure. Stop running away from pivoting. Run towards it. Because the curriculum to success is failure and adversity. Not around it, through it. And so find these opportunities within the obstacle. Find the advantages within the adversity. I face a lot of adversity in my life. And what I've realized is that I needed that adversity, right? And so whenever I face adversity now, it sucks for the moment. But I also know, like, when I break through the adversity, that's the next version of me that I need to get to the next level. Because who I am today, and who everybody listening, who you are today, cannot get to the success that you want. I'll repeat that. Who you are right now cannot get to the success that you want. And if by somehow it happens, you will lose it, because you need to become a certain person, right? You need to evolve into the person that needs to evolve into in order to create that success. Another thing I want to talk about, this is such a good time to connect and create. Like, ideal time. Clients come up to me, oh man, John, I just didn't have time before all this happened. John, I know I wanted to work on my business. I just haven't had enough time. I know I want to connect with my family and play with my child. I just haven't had time. I want to read that book. Just haven't had time. Well, guess what? Your biggest excuse is now no longer an excuse. You have time. Now, I get it. People are homeschooling kids and everything else. And we just pivot, right? We just get better at scheduling our time blocks. So connecting and creating, what I mean by that, and this is my season right now, is I'm connecting with myself, right? Deeply with myself. I'm connecting with my loved ones around me, my daughter, my wife. I'm connecting with clients, past clients, connecting with friends like you. I'm connecting with people at such a deeper level, because now I'm not distracted by all the things going on, going to this restaurant, going to there. So I'm connecting big time. I'm creating content for my business. I'm creating content for things I want once this is all over. I'm creating memories with my family. I'm creating the ultimate version of me every day. Will I fail? Absolutely. I'm going to fail some days, right?
Oh yeah.
Pivot. Man, we pivot every single day. The pandemic is nothing different. It's nothing different. And those who are taking action now during this time and not just chilling, watching Netflix, you're the one that's going to be successful. But you listening right now, if you're sitting there and you're not doing your morning routine, if you're not taking massive, aggressive, empowering action daily because of what's going on, you're never going to make it when this all ends. Because your habits create your future, right? Your habits create your future. Too many people are allowing their circumstances to dictate their habits. And that's because of this. You're trying to take action off of your mood. That never take action off your mood. Because it's the minute that motivation leaves your body that your destiny is shaped, right? So how do you take action? You take action, right? And you get motivated. You get motivated off of meaning, not mood. You get motivated off of meaning, not mood. And whatever that is, the meanings can change for every action that you take. As long as you have it and it drives you going forward. That's it. Put meaning to the mundane, man. I don't always want to wake up at 5 o'clock, and I don't always want to do the little things I've been doing for so long. But what I realized is that I had to put meaning behind the mundane because I know how powerful those things will accumulate and compound and create the gains that I'm looking for.
And it's funny, we were thinking on the same wavelength because you said the word compound. And I was thinking about Darren Hardy and the compound effect. And I mean, it's funny because everyone's like, oh, what books would you recommend? And I have a small segment of books, but it depends on where people are at in their life, where they are in the journey. And I'll say, okay, well, if someone's feelings are easily hurt, I'm probably not going to say, hey, go listen to David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me, because it might hit you a little hard. But the compound effect is, it's not a feel-good book, but it does makes you look at things in a different way. And just taking a step back, I want to go back to what you said, because one of the things that you said that really drove home to me is that breakthroughs don't generally happen when you're at the top of your game. And I can even say personally for myself, I mean, we've literally now, my routine, you're going to feel like you're actually probably going to be like, now I'm one of your coaching clients, but my routine has gone to shit. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, how do I get back that routine? I need to. The one thing I've done much more is I've literally dove into work and just said, okay, I'm going to pivot, because I know that right now there are a lot of opportunities in real estate. There are a lot of opportunities in all facets of business, but I knew that, okay, in order for me to get to where I want to go, I have to look at different businesses. I have to be open to what it is that I want to accomplish. I don't want my 2020 vision. Yeah, I came into this year, I had a SWOT analysis done, the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. We're going through and we're like, we're going to accomplish this by Q1. We're going to accomplish this by the middle of Q2. Here's who's assigned to it. Then I'm looking back and say, wow, we've done maybe a third of that. And it's because we've had to pivot. We're like, well, none of that's even relevant anymore.
Yep.
So but I'm happier than I've been. And I mean, is it weird to say that I'm happier than I've been in a really long time during this crisis, during this pandemic, because I've seen opportunity. And I even have trouble sleeping, where like, it's just my mind is constantly.
You're excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, and I want your listeners to hear this. The reason why you're excited is because you face challenges with optimism, right? And you're facing challenges with like, okay, I know if I can face this challenge, I get over it faster and I can pivot faster than my competition. I got a leg up. And so that's why it's normal. That's exciting. What you don't want to lose is that integration, right? With the habits and everything else. But on the business side, man, yeah, that's incredible that you're waking up and you're excited and you're ready to go, because some people aren't, right? And there's a clear reason. It's because you see the opportunity within the obstacle and you're walking in faith.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. And I mean, there's definitely been divine intervention. And I mean, just because of a lot of just the extra energy I've felt. And it's funny because once you feel like you're really truly in alignment, and whatever, for anyone who's listening, whatever beliefs are, you believe in the universe, believe in whatever we're all energy forms. All of us have energy, and it's what you're doing every day that empowers that energy and the way that you're thinking. And you're the expert on this, so I should have you more talk on this. But what would you say to somebody if they're really struggling right now with just emotionally? Maybe they've got some roadblocks. Maybe there's trauma, something that happened to them in the past. Maybe they're getting re-triggered. What are some like daily things that you do to help really use those dramatic times in your life and use them as energy? Like, what would you say that these people should be focused on?
So good, man. And this could be like a 10-hour topic, right? To be honest.
Right.
The first thing is you have to understand that you are not what you go through. Okay. You are not what you go through. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. Some that I, totally regret, and some things that happened to me that weren't my quote unquote fault, right? I'm always trying to find ownership and everything, but I am not that, right? I am not that. It's what I learned from that it starts creating a new version of me. So anybody listening, whatever you're going through, you are not depression, right? You are not anxiety, right? You are not all those negative things. Now, the problem is that your mind doesn't know what's real and what's fake. And the more it fires, the more it wires. So the more you tell yourself these limiting beliefs, the more you tell yourself these things that don't empower you, that discourage you, your mind is only going to think it's real, and it's going to wire and wire and wire. So whenever you're about to make a decision, that negative thought, that negative conversation you've had with yourself, whether the trauma is real or you've amplified it through the conversation you had with yourself, your mind is going to say, no, stay safe. No, don't do that, because remember, you got hurt over here. So you have to understand that. And the next thing is, in order to move on, you got to face what the facts are. For me and the people I walk through this process with, I don't say we move forward until we understand how to let go. Because you're always going to have that tug, man, of that trauma, of that disappointment, of the person who hurt you, who you hurt somebody. You're always going to have that tug. And every time you try to go, it just pulls you right back. And it's like, shit, can I ever get ahead? No, you can't until you go back and face what that thing was and realize that does not define you. Realize that even though there may be factual things there, that it cannot control you. That one thing, two things, whatever it is, cannot define 70 years of your life. Don't let it. Because when you lay your head down and you lay in that casket, you're either going to die with those limited beliefs or you're not. And guess what? People, when they come to your grave and they see that dash, they're going to feel a certain way. And they're only going to feel a certain way if you get rid of those limiting beliefs, if you get rid of that trauma. And so I want first everybody to understand you have to let go and face it. Don't just sweep it under the rug, let go. Like, go there, get to a meditated state, go to that place, find out what is it that I've been holding on to. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And it's not like it's going to disappear, Matt. It's not going to disappear. Yeah. And then you have to move forward. Now, when you move forward and it comes back into your mind and it tries to creep its way back in, remember, it's been this thought for how many years, right? It's not like it's going to disappear. When it comes back in, I actually do this weird thing. And this might help people. So when I hear it, right, I literally feel like I'm grabbing it and I see it. I'm like, you do not control me, right? You do not control me. I am not what you say. I am worth it. I am not this negative, this disempowering thought that's trying to come into my head. And I literally just like throw it down. And as I throw it down, I step over it into action. Because you have to create this movement to push out that limited belief, right? So throw it down and I just go and I'll walk into action of something that makes me feel good. It's something that is getting me closer to my goal, some kind of progression. And just do that daily. And, another thing I do on a daily basis, my affirmations. My affirmations. I used to do them and, I'd be like, okay, I got my 10 affirmations, same every day. Same with my gratitude. But I found out that it's not just saying it, it's about actually feeling it. So too many of you right now are just checking the box off. I'm grateful for my daughter. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful. And that is not the point. I'd rather you say one thing with complete description that overwhelms you with joy than you write out the 25 things and say all 25. So if I don't see what I'm talking about, whether it's, in the future, talking about, the private jet or whatever it is that I'm looking forward to, right, or I'm talking about what I'm grateful for, like my daughter, I stop and I get more descriptive, right? Like, I'm grateful for my daughter. I can't see her. I say I'm grateful for my daughter and how she could light up the room even on some of my darkest days. And instantly I remember a time where like I'm upset, I'm pissed, and all of a sudden like she comes in with a little smirk and I'm joyful, right? Like it's you can't even fight it. All I gotta do is say just one, and I move on. So those two things are huge for me. And I just work on me daily, man. I work on me. I help so many people, as everybody does. Even if you're not a coach, even if you're not a speaker, you help so many people, from your brother, your sister, your kids, your husband, your wife, that you got to take some me time. And if you don't, those limited beliefs will keep creeping in. So take some me time for you, man. It's so important. Whatever quiet time you can create it. And if you say I don't have time, wake up earlier.
I love that. What you said something that was really impactful, stepping over limiting beliefs and actually having the physical and the mental capacity to do so. What would you say it is that when you're doing that? I mean, because I've seen so many things in different TED Talks and other things where you're literally taking the limiting belief and you're pushing it. You're actually doing a physical motion. And it was funny when I don't know why I was thinking of the Hulk, where you're just throwing it down. But I mean, it's that physical motion. I mean, would you agree with that? That is helping you because you're visualizing it and visualizing just crushing it down.
Yeah. And visualizing is so powerful. And also I start teaching my mind that it's not real. Right. And the easiest way to do that is movement, right? Is movement. So, emotions, that's what we're driven off of, right? We're human. So we make decisions off of pain or pleasure. And so by me taking that motion, it creates a new emotion. By me taking that motion, that powerful stance, right? That powerful motion right there, shoulders up, whatever it is, that will create an empowering emotion. One that's going to benefit me to create belief, take action, which will accumulate to the results I want, that will drive a better belief and a better confidence to have this beautiful cycle start happening when it used to be the opposite way around, right? Bad emotion, give into it, lack of action, no results. No results are feeding my belief that you can't do it, and it's just this horrible, vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's that loop. It's just that feedback loop of from hell, where you're at that point where you want to make changes in your life, but you're holding on to these anchors from the past, and there's so much value here. And John, for anybody that wants to, so let's say I want to just connect with you, want to look into your coaching. How would the viewers, how would they get in touch? What's the best way? And I'm going to share this on our post, but what's the best way for them to do it?
Yeah, if you want to look me up on Instagram at Real John Marrone, so at Real John Marrone, Facebook John Marrone, Marrone, my YouTube, look up John Marrone, growth expert. So you look me up there. Also, my podcast, Power of Progression. iTunes, Spotify. I've had some phenomenal guests on, like Trent Shelton, Eric Thomas, Hal Elrod, Lisa Bilyeu, Emily Frisella. I mean, I have some phenomenal people on, as well as I do my own solo shows. So check out Power of Progression on whatever podcast platform. If you like it, review it, subscribe, whatever it is, if you find value in it. And lastly, myself and fellow super coach named Julian Rosen have connected, and we've combined our efforts in something called the Personal Evolution Experience. And it's johnmarrone.com/evolution. And what it is simply helping anybody struggling with lack of clarity. If you're struggling with self-sabotage, feeling like you're not worthy, feeling like you can't create the productivity that you need and effectiveness and efficiency, maybe the income stream you have is just a roller coaster ride. You're sitting there right now and you struggle with these things or these limited beliefs that are coming into your mind and you can't overcome them. We'll bring you through a 12-week experience to transform your life. And we have so much confidence. It's a money back guarantee. So if you go to it, you sign up, go to 12 weeks with Julian and myself, and you feel like you didn't get the result you want, no questions asked, we'll give you your money back. We've helped thousands of clients, and I know for a fact it's going to work. I mean, we have on-the-spot coaching, which is you type in, like, this is what I'm dealing with, and immediately we create a video to show you how to overcome that. That's added on to our group coaching, our one-on-ones, and everything. So it's really fail-proof, and I'm so excited to do it for the 20 people. We have about 7 spots left. We start May 4th. So if you want to join the Personal Evolution, johnmarrone.com/evolution. We have a few spots left. But if you feel like maybe it's not a good fit, or maybe you have some issues or questions about finances or how it works, just go ahead at Real John Marrone on Instagram. Send me a DM. Let's chat. Let me see if it's a good fit for you. Make sure it's a good fit for us. In worst case scenario, hopefully I could provide some value on today's call and the call that we would set up to make sure it's a good fit for you.
That's awesome. Oh, good. I'm excited to hear more about that. I will make sure too that is posted. So for everyone that is that's listening, and I will also go to your podcast and I will make sure I like it and leave a review. So hey, if you could, I'm on there too. So if you do the same for me,
of course,
law of reciprocity for everybody that's watching.
Yes,
John, this was awesome. I mean, we had to get, so for everyone that's watching too, of course, we had to pivot before this because normally we just link right up to live, and today it wasn't happening. So hey, you know what? That's been the story this year, is just pivoting, and this was excellent. I would, I would love to have you on again, and we can go through some other things. But I mean, this was great. And John, I mean, I appreciate your time. If there was anything that you wanted to just leave everyone with, just kind of if you had a closing thought, what do you got?
Yeah. First off, I want to say thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, we didn't go Facebook Live, so we will do it again. That's for sure. And the questions you ask and just being here in a moment, I appreciate that. I've been on a lot of shows. Obviously, I have my own. And one of the things I always look for is the podcast guest or the podcast presenter engage, and you are. So I appreciate that, man. That goes a long way.
Absolutely.
And I definitely am grateful that you're doing that and allowing me on to speak to your audience. What I want to leave everybody with is this. Right now, there is a lot of obstacles. Right now, there's a lot of unseen things out there that we don't know what's going on. And as humans, we have a need. We have a need for certainty. Everybody has all these 6 different needs, and some of us have a higher need for certainty. But no matter what, you still need it. Like, it's still a need.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're sitting here right now and you're trying to find certainty in stocks, you're trying to find certainty in the housing market, in the pandemic, in our government, you are never going to find it, because certainty comes from a place of control. And you can't control what's going on out there. I guarantee you, if somebody right now is listening, you had certainty one time with your wife, your husband, your business partner, a stock. Then all of a sudden, it crashed. Whatever it looks like, right? It all of a sudden, you broke up with that person. They broke your heart, whatever it is. And that certainty got ripped away from you. Ripped away from you. And then you were left with anxiety, depression, lonely, lost. And then those things accumulate into other things. So what I'm trying to get at is this. If you want true certainty, you have to find it. You have to find it in the things you can control. You find certainty in the things you can control: your habits, your perspective, your mindset. Right? Those things you can control. So I want you to stop trying to find it in all the other things and find it in the things you can control. Another one I want to leave you with, because I think this is so important during this time, Matt, is that we all go through seasons of our life. We talked about it the entire show. We go through these seasons. And there's a lot of difficult seasons out there. There's a lot of great seasons, right? You got seasons of accomplishment, seasons of success, seasons of struggle, season of worry, season of uncertainty. I'm going to give you a tool to help you get through any difficult season. And it's very simple. With a strong enough reason, you will be able to progress through any season. With a strong enough reason, you will be able to progress through any season. Not just get through. Hear me. Not just get through. Stop trying to just survive during this time. It's time to thrive. It's time to progress, and you could do it. I know that there's a lot of uncertainty going out there. I know there's a lot of unknowns, but that should not dictate what is going on internally. So find a strong enough reason to get through any difficult season. But better yet, find a strong enough reason to progress through a difficult season. And every day get 1% better. 1% better.
Love that.
As you're taking your breath, Matt, as you're taking your breath, somebody is taking their last. Somebody's taking their last. Take advantage of every single breath, because you never know when that last one's going to come. So connect, create, love, add value. and enjoy the hell out of life while you're doing it.
That was one of the strongest closings I have ever been a part of. John, you are phenomenal. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Guys, for everybody that is on, again, John is at John Marrone /evolution.
Yep.
.com. You can also find him at The Real John Marrone on Instagram. And you can also find him, of course, just by looking up John Marrone on Facebook. Send him a DM. And you said you had, was it 7 spots left?
Yeah. Yep. 7 spots in the evolution.
7 spots. Okay. 7 spots left, guys. So get it quickly. May 3rd?
May the 4th.
4th. I was close. All right. Awesome. All right. May 4th, everybody. So, John, thank you again. And, guys, we'll see you same time, same place next week. And we should be live at that point. So, thanks, John. See you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.